Hey there, fellow musicians. Whether you've been gigging for decades or just starting to test the waters as a professional, welcome back to the channel where we explore how to thrive as a grassroots musician, especially for those of us over 50. Stick around. Today's video is all about tapping into the unique advantages that come with our experience and wisdom while embracing fresh opportunities to stay relevant and inspired in today's music scene. We'll also talk about the role of agents and how they can be a powerful tool in securing gigs. We'll explore how securing a residency gig can provide you with a steady income and a loyal fan base, why collaborating with younger artists can open unexpected doors, and how engaging with online media can help your story reach the right audience. Plus, we'll dive into how to keep your craft sharp, from practicing regularly to challenging yourself with new tools like backing tracks and effects. Whether you're looking to book more gigs, expand your musical knowledge, or reignite your creative spark, this video is packed with actionable tips to take your career to the next level, and much more. So grab a coffee, settle in, and let's get started. Tip 1, the importance of using agents to promote your act. For many grassroots musicians, booking gigs is one of the most time-consuming and frustrating parts of the whole job, right? While some venues will deal directly with performers, many pubs and clubs, especially those with a larger roster of acts, prefer to work through agents. Understanding why venues rely on agents and how you can use them to your advantage can make a huge difference in securing regular, well-paying gigs. Many venues simply don't have the time or resources to communicate with dozens of individual musicians. Organising live entertainment involves scheduling, negotiating fees, and ensuring the right act is booked for the right crowd. Rather than dealing with multiple emails, calls, and last-minute changes, venue managers often prefer to work with agents who handle everything for them. Agents act as a filter, ensuring that venues get reliable, professional musicians who fit their needs. This benefits both parties, right? Venues get a streamlined booking process, and musicians who work with agents have a much better chance of getting consistent work. Furthermore, agents who work with sports clubs and certain venues are aware that these places generally want older musicians, so they're more likely to book you. So how do agents benefit musicians? Well, for musicians, an agent can be a game changer. Instead of spending hours contacting venues, negotiating fees, and following up on payments, you can focus on your music while the agent handles the business side. Some key benefits include more gig opportunities. Agents have existing relationships with venues who often book multiple acts at once, meaning you'll be considered for gigs that you might not have access to otherwise. Higher fees. Experienced agents know what venues are willing to pay and can negotiate better rates on your behalf. Professional representation, very important. Being on an agent's roster gives you credibility, showing venues that you're a serious, reliable performer. And it's less stress with an agent handling bookings, cancellations, and payments. You can focus on delivering a great performance without the hassle of constant outreach. Okay, finding the right agent. Not all agents are the same. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about, huh? Yeah, not all agents are the same, all right? I'll just leave it at that. So it's important to find one that works well for you. Look for agents who specialize in your style of music, who already book acts in the venues you want to play. Building a strong relationship with a reputable agent can lead to steady work and long-term success in the gigging circuit. While it's possible to book gigs on your own, working with an agent can save you a lot of time, increase your earnings, and open doors to venues that might otherwise be out of reach. If you're serious about performing, getting an agent on your side is one of the smartest moves you can make. By the way, if you're enjoying this content and finding it helpful, I'd love for you to join our community. Only about 8% of viewers are subscribed, so if you want more tips on thriving as a musician over 50, hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow and helps me keep making videos like this for you. Tip 2. One of the best ways for older musicians is to stay relevant and inject fresh energy into their performances is by collaborating with younger musicians. This partnership not only brings a contemporary vibe to your songs, but also opens up exciting possibilities for musical growth. Working with younger musicians can help you incorporate new trends, techniques, and ideas that you might not have explored on your own. and keeping your sound fresh and evolving. Younger musicians, especially female performers, can bring a certain charisma and stage presence that resonates with diverse audiences. By collaborating with talented young women who are comfortable engaging with the crowd, you add a layer of sex appeal and energy to your performances. Female performers who are confident and skilled at interacting with the audience can elevate the experience by creating a magnetic stage dynamic. Their ability to connect with the crowd, whether through humour, charm, or simply an infectious energy, can make your performances more engaging and memorable. This dynamic can draw in a broader audience, particularly fans who appreciate the added vibrancy and excitement that female performers bring to the stage. In addition, younger female performers can help you create a visually appealing and more marketable act. This is important. The combination of your seasoned presence and their youthful energy can generate a dynamic that's both captivating and appealing. Here's a quick side story. Back in the late 90s, I was auditioning for female singers, and I'd whittled it down to 2. And it was between one girl who was had great personality but wasn't a looker, and another one who was a real looker. Now, the regular girl had a much better voice and a much better ear for harmony. So I was thinking, okay, I've got to go for the music. I've got to get these harmonies. It's all about the music, right? So I got her in the band, and she was great. And we did posters, gave them to the agents. We did great demo CDs for the agents, and they sounded really great. But the gigs just kept sort of plodding along, you know. So later on, I ended up giving the job to the hottie who couldn't really sing harmonies, and I loved harmonies, but she was a hot blonde and she had a great charisma. And anyway, so got posters made up with her in it, and bang, the agents didn't even want to hear the music. They saw the hottie and they just started booking us. And that's how it works. Sex appeal really works. I mean, don't get someone who's hot who can't sing at all. That's just going to be embarrassing. But you know, if it comes down to one or the other, get the one with the big tip. 2, leverage local blogs and online communities. Local blogs and online communities are also a fantastic platform for musicians to gain exposure. These digital outlets often have loyal followings and provide a more interactive experience for both the artist and the audience. Reach out to local bloggers who specialise in music, events or cultural topics and offer them exclusive content, interviews or behind-the-scenes glimpses of your process. Blogs can also be great for promoting specific events, releases or milestones in your career, and the community engagement aspect makes it easier for fans to share your story, expanding on your reach. Now, this could be a little way down the road in your journey, but these online journalists are always looking for a story. All right, try and build relationships with journalists and bloggers. One-off media coverage can be useful, but long-term relationships with local journalists and bloggers can provide continued exposure and support. Don't just treat media coverage as a one-time opportunity. Invest in building relationships with key local influencers. Follow them on social media, engage with their posts, and stay in touch after your feature. Over time, these relationships can lead to repeat features, increased visibility, and even invitations to participate in interviews, podcasts, which are big now, or events. And then maximise the impact of media coverage once you've secured press coverage. It's important to leverage it. Share the articles, interviews or features across your social media platforms, website and in your promotional material. It adds credibility to your brand and shows potential fans and venues that you have local support. Additionally, having media coverage on your site can be a useful tool when negotiating for gigs or collaborations with other artists or venues. By engaging with local press and blogs, you not only increase your visibility within your community, but also show that you're an active part of the local music scene. Your media presence gives you a platform to tell your story, connect with fans, and attract the attention of venues and promoters, which can ultimately lead to more gigs, collaborations, and opportunities to further develop your career. Tip 3, become a resident performer. One of the most effective ways to build a sustainable career as an older musician, especially in the local gigging scene, is becoming a resident performer at a specific venue. Instead of constantly searching for new gigs or jumping between different locations, establishing yourself as the go-to musician at a particular bar, restaurant, or cafe can offer numerous benefits that contribute to long-term success and stability in your career. If you do a one-off gig at a venue and you have booked it direct, it's a good idea to charge what an agent would charge. This way it gives you some wiggle room to negotiate the price down slightly so as to secure the regular weekly spot. The price is obviously going to be slightly different depending on where you are in the world, but a good idea is to ask other musicians who work with agents what the going rate is. Here in Perth, Western Australia, for a pub gigs, normally 3 hours, I get paid $330, $440 for a 4-hour gig, $440 for a 4-hour fantastic friggin' show. So it's safe to say the agent is probably charging the venue $400 for the 3 hours and $500 for 4, or very close to it. So when you negotiate a gig by yourself, direct through a venue, charge that approximate difference. Don't go straight for the cheapest price just because you want to secure the gig. This can make you look like a rookie. Even if you are, fake it until you make it. I can guarantee that the venue manager you deal with will have more confidence in you as a performer and your experience if your price is higher. Another benefit is income and consistent exposure. A major advantage of becoming a resident performer is the steady stream of income it provides. Rather than having to hustle for gigs on a regular basis, residencies give you a fixed schedule, which means you know exactly when you'll be performing and you can plan around it. This stability can alleviate a lot of financial uncertainty that comes with being a freelance musician. Moreover, a regular spot at a venue gives you consistent exposure to your audience, which you can help build a dedicated following to. People who enjoy your music will come back to see you, and this loyalty can translate into repeat business as well. The more frequently you're performing at the same place, the more likely you are to develop a core audience that attends specifically to hear you play. Being a resident performer allows you to establish a long-term relationship with the venue and its patrons. As the venue grows accustomed to your performances, they'll be more inclined to rely on you for entertainment, which means a deeper commitment from both sides. For the venue, knowing that they have a dependable musician who constantly draws in an audience can be invaluable. You're seen as a regular fixture, and that can lead to word-of-mouth promotion, more referrals, and long-lasting connections within the local scene. From the audience perspective, having a resident musician provides them with something to look forward to regularly. Regular gigs foster familiarity and comfort, which can turn casual listeners into loyal fans. Over time, these fans may start to recognize you, attend multiple performances, and engage you on social media. As an older musician, this ongoing engagement can be particularly rewarding, as it allows you to connect with your audience on a personal level and create a sense of community around your music and make friends. Okay, tip 4, utilize your experience for storytelling. As an older musician, you've accumulated a wealth of experiences, stories, lessons, and moments that can deeply resonate with your audience. Don't just focus on playing music, use your experience as a way to enhance your connection with the crowd. Sharing brief anecdotes about your journey, whether it's about writing a particular song, memorable gigs, or personal struggles you've overcome, you can turn your performances into something much more engaging. Storytelling gives the audience insight into who you are as an artist and a person. It humanizes the experience and creates a sense of intimacy that transcends the music itself. For example, if you're playing a song that was inspired by a specific event in your life, briefly sharing that story before playing it can add a personal touch. It makes the audience feel like they're part of the song's creation, kind of. And the more they're likely to remember the performance long after it's over. These stories don't need to be lengthy. Even a few sentences can make a difference. You don't need to overthink it. Additionally, storytelling can help you stand out as a performer. While many musicians focus solely on the technical aspects of their music, your personal stories can create a deeper bond with the audience. Audiences are often looking for a bit of a connection, and the music is your perfect medium to deliver that connection in a meaningful and authentic way. By utilizing your experience for storytelling, you not only bring a deeper level of engagement, but you also set yourself apart as a seasoned musician with stories worth hearing. Keep in mind the feel of the room though. This is super important. If you feel like you haven't fully captured the audience's attention, wait for a natural pause. Perhaps during a quieter moment, a well-timed anecdote can draw people in. But if the crowd is restless, Sometimes it's best to let the music do the talking first and save your story for when they're more receptive. Timing is everything. If storytelling isn't your strength, don't force it. Tip 5, stay mentally engaged. As an older musician, mental engagement is just as vital as physical health in maintaining an active and successful career. Staying mentally sharp ensures that you continue to grow, evolve, and rise to the challenges that live performances bring. While physical exercise and health routines are necessary for stamina on stage, your mind plays a huge role in how well you perform, how you connect with your audience, and how you stay relevant in an ever-changing music landscape. Lifelong learning. One of the key ways to stay mentally engaged is through lifelong learning. Whether you're discovering new genres, exploring fresh musical techniques, or revisiting the fundamentals of your instrument, there's also something new to learn. Dive into different musical styles or study new instruments to expand your skills. You could take courses online, watch tutorials, and attend workshops. Even if you've been performing for decades, there's a world of new sounds, approaches, and trends to incorporate into your music. Expanding your musical toolbox opens up new possibilities for creative expression, and it keeps you inspired. Another sub-tip, practice to maintain mental agility. Practicing regularly is a critical part of staying mentally engaged with your craft. Just as you would maintain physical fitness through exercise, you need to keep your mind agile by dedicating time to practice. Even seasoned musicians can benefit from revisiting their instrument technique or learning new pieces. This helps to keep your brain in performance mode, improving muscle memory, finger dexterity, and mental recall. It's not just about playing the same songs or routines repeatedly. Instead, aim to push yourself with more complex pieces or arrangements. Experiment with improvisation, mastering new scales, adding harmonies. The mental challenge of learning new material can stimulate creativity and keep your brain focused on developing new ways to present your music. Probably a good way to avoid dementia too. Okay, here's another sub-tip. Challenge yourself with live performances. Live gigs are a great opportunity to test the limits of your abilities and challenge your mental stamina. Performing in front of an audience requires a high level of mental focus. You need to manage the timing, pace, and emotional delivery of your songs, all while keeping track of your set list and reacting to the energy in the room. By performing regularly, you continue to improve your ability to think on your feet and stay mentally sharp under pressure. Don't shy away from challenging gigs that push your boundaries. Don't even shy away from playing in front of one person. Play in front of your wife, your son, your daughter, whatever. Just say, look, I want to test my nerves. I've got a new song. And even having one person there will test your nerves. I promise you, it happens to me even now. And it's a good way to test how you react to those nerves and how you can control them. Over time, handling the pressures of live performances will become second nature, and you will have developed mental resilience. To a point, it will still be there even after years, so have some comfort in knowing that even experienced musicians still have that feeling. It just grows less. It's kind of like grief, over the years. So, as I said, it will become second nature, and you'll have developed mental resilience, helping you thrive in even the most stressful gig situations. You can just close your eyes and lock in and go, I've done this so many times. What are you worried about? Concentrate on the music. That's all it is. Don't worry about the audience. Sometimes a larger audience makes it a little bit more nerve-wracking, but then you will be able to get into a zone where you can go, man, I know that in an hour I'll be on my way home and I'll have done it again and nailed it. Just another day at the office. Okay, adapt your mindset to stay creative. To stay engaged mentally, it's essential to cultivate a growth mindset. Approach your music with curiosity and openness, viewing each gig or practice session as an opportunity for growth. Embrace new ideas and ways of doing things, whether it's trying out new technology, seeking feedback from peers, or collaborating with younger musicians. The more you're open to innovation, the more you're likely to sustain your creativity and remain relevant in the music industry. At the same time, don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. If you've always played one genre, challenge yourself to explore something different. Creating a goal to learn a song in a new style that you've never tried before, or take a risk by incorporating experimental sounds or techniques. This mental stretch keeps you on your toes and helps prevent stagnation in your music. Okay, so I'm kind of harping on about this whole mental thing, but it is important. Okay, even focusing on it during the downtime, right? The downtime between gigs or rehearsals can also play a role in keeping your mind engaged. Use this time to explore new music, read about the industry, or listen to live performances from other artists. Surrounding yourself with inspiration, whether it's from fellow musicians, musical documentaries, or even podcasts, can spark new ideas that will be valuable in your next performance. Okay, I've forgotten how many tips there are, but here's another tip. Maintaining mental stamina for long-term career success. As you continue gigging over the years, mental stamina becomes an even more critical factor. Mental fatigue can creep in after years of performing, which is why it's essential to maintain an active, engaged mind. Keeping your mental health in check, practicing regularly, and challenging yourself musically will allow you to continue performing at your best. By staying mentally engaged with your craft, whether through constant learning, challenging your limits, or adapting your performance style, you'll be able to remain flexible, relevant, and inspired. Not only will this help you navigate the demands of gigging as an older musician, but it'll also ensure that you continue to grow as an artist. Okay, another tip. Don't know which one. Don't be afraid to experiment with new style. As an older musician, there's often a tendency to stay within the comfort zone of familiar genres and techniques. However, one of the most exciting aspects of being a musician, regardless of age, is the ability to evolve and experiment. Don't let the idea of age or experience hold you back from exploring new styles, genres, or musical technologies. Embracing the unfamiliar can reinvigorate your passion for music, sharpen your skills, and ensure that your performances stay fresh and engaging. Music is constantly evolving, and so are the tastes of audiences. As a seasoned musician, you've likely mastered a particular genre or style, but don't be afraid to step outside those boundaries. You might find that incorporating elements from other genres such as funk, reggae, or even contemporary pop, anything really, can add a new layer of depth and creativity to your sound. The fusion of different styles allow you to innovate, keeping your music relevant and appealing to a diverse audience. Plus, audiences appreciate when an artist shows a willingness to evolve. The most common compliment I get at gigs is the wide range of different genres that I do. I can go from Funky Valley to Eminem. Now, I'm not expecting you to go to those extremes, but over the years I've learned how to rap pretty well and incorporate those songs when I see a younger audience in front of me. They never laugh, but they often look surprised. And rap was never my thing, but learning a few of these tunes helped me with my vocal timing and phrasing, and now I can incorporate this into other songs. Just another feather in the repertoire bow that can be used when needed. Tip number, learn new instruments or technology. Technology such as loop pedals, digital audio workstations, or MIDI controllers offer endless ways to experiment with sound. Loop pedals can help you layer your music in real time, adding complexity and depth to the solo performances. Digital tools allow you to manipulate sound in ways that were previously impossible. It can help you create entirely new textures in your music. By integrating these tools into your set, you can produce a richer, more dynamic performance without needing a full band. This is Tessa.
Hello, Tessa.
And this is Molly.
Hello, Molly. Hello, Molly.
Molly says hi. Pushing boundaries with backing tracks and effects. Tip number. Now, I've covered this in several videos, but I'll keep on harping on about it because it's been a game changer for me. Using technology doesn't mean losing your authenticity. It's about enhancing your sound and opening up new possibilities. Backing tracks, especially for solo performers, can give the illusion of a full band, creating a fuller, more dynamic sound. For example, you can use backing tracks to incorporate strings, percussions, or harmonies, or even just full tracks that might otherwise be unavailable as a solo performer. I see a lot of performers doing loops. Layering effects through a loop pedal or other devices allow you to experiment with different sonic landscapes while still staying true to your core style. This use of technology can bridge the gap between classic and modern music and appeal to a broader audience. You know, take older songs that you already know and maybe layer them in a different way, in a modern way. Okay, tip number, embrace the challenge of experimentation. Experimenting with new styles, instruments, and technologies is an exciting challenge, and it's important not to fear failure in the process. Not every experiment will work, and that's okay. The key is to stay open-minded and willing to try new things, even if they take you outside your comfort zone. Musicians who continue to challenge themselves, regardless of their age, maintain a sense of creative urgency that keeps them engaged in their craft. Whether it's a change in your musical genre, a shift in your performance style, or an exploration of new technology, pushing the boundaries of your art allows you to stay passionate and inventive. It also signals to your audience that you're not stuck in the past, but are always looking to innovate and evolve, which is inspiring and attractive to fans across generations. All right, another tip, the benefits of evolution over time. The world of music will always be changing, and artists who stay stuck in their ways are ones who risk being left behind. By embracing new influences and genres and technologies, you ensure that your sound keeps up with the times, all while maintaining a reflection of who you are as an artist. Your evolution is part of your story. By allowing yourself to experiment, you show your audience that music is a living, breathing entity that grows and transforms within the artist. It also shows them that creativity doesn't have an expiration date and that you can remain relevant, inspired, and fresh, no matter your age. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.